that thing that made us be in a state of joy, bliss. That thing that made us be full of laughter. Is when we were experiencing heartfelt love and kindness from those that exuberated to us. We've also had those experiences that blindsided us. It was something we never thought would happen. It was that thing that made us be in a state of shock, sadness, and even sometimes anger. Many of us have made plans to do certain things a particular way in our life, but circumstances changed our plans, and it didn't go the way we wanted it to. We consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously begin to evaluate our setbacks, our struggles. And we begin to ask the questions or pass blame. We ask the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions. And sometimes still didn't understand what was going on in our lives. And anyone who's been through that, let me hear you say amen. Amen. Sometimes you have to wonder what in the world just happened. And our text, we see this young man, John, this young prophet, John the Baptist. He has been baptizing. He's been in the wilderness, the desert area, if you will, baptizing. Amen. And he is a hard prophet. John the Baptist is a strong man. He doesn't care about feelings. Amen. John the Baptist says what needs to be said, when and how it needs to be said. And now we see John the Baptist incarcerated for speaking the truth about King Herod's unholy, adulterous relationship. He's about to be beheaded, and he's starting to have some questions about his situation and even if Jesus is the Christ. To help me get a clearer understanding about John's situation, I want you to go to the Gospel of Matthew. Go to chapter 14. We're going to read verses 3 through 11. Quite a bit, but it shows you how John got in this situation. Matthew 14, verses 3 through 11. For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, It is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. She began, and she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in the charger. And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them that sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel. And she brought it to a mother. I could preach on that, but that's not where I'm at. Amen. So before the time of John's beheading, he is dealing with the trauma of being locked up and being a prophet, because he only is doing what's inside of him. He's only doing what the Spirit has led him to do. And now he finds himself locked in prison. Because he's a prophet, he most likely knows that he's going to be killed. He knows he's going to die. But that's not what he signed up for. It appears as if John has lost his confidence. Yeah. This is the same John who stood bold as the voice crying in the wilderness, making straight the way of the Lord. Yeah. He's the same John that said to the Pharisees and Sadducees coming where he was baptizing, he said to them, "You generation of vipers, who warned you to flee from the coming wrath?" This is the same John who wears camel hair, a leather girdle, and eats locusts and wild honey. John is a bad man. Now we see John in a situation where life is not working out the way John expected it to. John knew he was called by God. John knew he had to preach in the wilderness. But John didn't know that his calling would lead him to death. Life is not working out the way he wanted it to. Now John is dealing with what I call the 3 Ds. Doubt, disappointment, and desperation. He's doubting who Jesus is. He's disappointed because he's in a situation he didn't expect to be in. And he's desperate to find a way out. We're not always going to get our way out. We're not always going to get the thing we wished for. Sometimes we're going to have to face the hardship, the thing that we don't want to deal with, the thing that we don't like, the thing that's going to cause us some pain. So John sends 2 of his disciples to go talk to Jesus, to find out if he truly is the Christ, if he is truly the Messiah. The text reads like this. It says, "When the men were come unto him, they said, John Baptist has sent us unto thee, saying, Art thou he that should come? Or look we for another? And in that same hour, Jesus, he cured many of their infirmities and plagues, and of evil spirits, and unto many that were blind he gave sight. Then Jesus answering said unto them, Go your way, and tell John what things ye have seen and heard, how that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, and the dead are raised. And to the poor, the gospel is preached. Church, it doesn't matter who we are, what position we have. Every now and then, God will turn things upside down. God will turn things in a way that we didn't expect them to go. Not the devil, God will do it. Because life doesn't always work out our way. We too are sometimes faced with the 3 D's. We face doubt when things happen to us. And we wonder, am I doing what God has led me to do? We face doubt. Did I marry who I was supposed to marry? We face doubt. Am I in the right place? Did I do the right thing? Did I pay what I should have paid? Should I have gone where I've gone? We face doubt. We also face disappointment. How many of you ever been disappointed? Because not everybody that you think is for you, and sometimes it causes disappointment. You get blindsided. You think that this person was with you. You think that this person is there. They even told you, I'm with you till thick and thin. And soon as it gets thin, you can't find it. You're disappointed. You get disappointed because some people do things that you don't expect them to do. Not you. I expected that from my enemy, but not you. You're my best friend. You're my spouse. You're my child. You're the one that I say is my ace buddy. But not you. So we get disappointed. And then at times we get desperate. Where we forget about the faith that we have. We forget about whom we say is the Lord of our life. You say, Lord, I trust you. But then we forget and we get desperate and we start doing things our way. We start looking for ways to do something that God clearly isn't in. Anybody ever did that? You got desperate. And instead of trusting in the Lord, you had to figure it out your own way. Only to find out that it all had to go full circle right back to God, and you should have left it like it was the first place. Some things are best just left alone and let God figure it out. When we get desperate, we do stupid things. You get desperate, you accept things that you shouldn't accept. You lie on people. You get desperate. You seek ungodly ways to handle things when we get desperate. But Jesus sends John that message to give him assurance, the assurance to know that he is the Christ, and that everything is going to work out in God's favor and will. That assurance is so we can accept the plans that God has assigned to our lives. We often say, I'm yours, Lord. I'm yours, Lord. Try me now and see. See if I can be completely yours. We get caught up in the moment and we sing it and we dance and we give him praise. I'm yours, Lord. Try me now and see. See if I can be completely yours. You ever been there? I'm yours, Lord. Try me now and see. See if I can be completely yours. That's what we do. Yes, sir. Then when we are tried, we go into the 3 D's. You asked them to try. Keep telling you, you better listen to the words you sing out your mouth. Some people get mad with me because I don't like the song, "Don't Move My Mountain, but Give Me the Strength to Climb." I hate that song. Not hate it, but I hate to sing it because I'm not going to ask God not to move mountains. Not when His Word says that if I have the faith the size of a mustard seed, I can say to it, "Be gone," and it can be gone. Why would I say, "Lord, don't move my mountain, but give me the strength to climb"? Because that's how we say it. We break our lip down, and we get Negro spiritual with it. Don't take away my stumbling blood, but leave me all around. I'm going to ask Him to move it first. Now, if it don't move, now give me the strength to climb. If I sing the song, "Lord, move my mountain," and if it don't move, give me strength to climb, that's how I'll sing it. Take away my stumbling block, but if it don't, leave me all around. That's the way I would sing it. But you sing it like you want to. So when you try, the 3 D's show up again. What are the 3 D's? Doubt, disappointment, and desperation. But God wants us to completely trust Him. Not your job, because we can lose those. Not our bank accounts, because ain't nobody in here that rich. And surely it can be gone in a matter of days, and in some cases hours. One hardship. Minutes. It's not always going to work out our way. But church, as long as you know that you're in the will of God, that's all that matters. As long as you know that you're doing what God has called you to do, that's all that matters. Because everything is working for your good. All things are working for our good. And when you know you're doing God's will and in God's will, that is a very good place to be. Now, how many of you know right now you're in God's will? You ought to give Him some praise. Life doesn't always work out our way. Many of us are not called to be martyrs of the faith. However, whatever God's will is for our life is what we are supposed to do. And here's John. He's about 30 years old, 6 months older than Jesus. He's been in that wilderness preaching. In the wilderness preaching. Here's John locked up for telling the truth. Some people will lock you up because you tell the truth. Oh, they may not put you in a natural prison, but they'll lock you up. They'll blackball. They'll defame you. They'll say you are the reason for problems that you are not the cause of. They will put you in a position that you feel incarcerated. And you're saying, God, I did not sign up for this. And God says, and I put you there because I need you there. I have a work for you, and I'm getting glory out of your life. John, but Lord, I haven't even married. I've been out there in the desert eating locusts and honey. I don't get mama cooked meals. And I had intentions on marrying one day somebody, having some children one day. And now all of those plans are gone. Because surely I'm going to die. Did anybody ever felt like that? Not necessarily natural death, but felt like you were about to lose some serious stuff. Surely it's going to die. Surely it's going to show up missing. Surely. And you did all you could do. And you start asking, are you even Christ? Are you even the Messiah? Or should I even be going to church? The preacher keeps telling me have faith, and I have faith, but I'm not healed. The preacher keeps telling me trust in you, Lord. I'm trusting in you, but I'm still in a bad situation. And God is saying, and I'm getting glory out of your life. Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. So God's got you. He's got you. Even when it doesn't work out the way you think it should, God has you in the palm of his hand. Even when it brings tears to your eyes, God has you in the palm of his hand. Even when you have chains on and you feel shackled down, God has you in the palm of his hands. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And you say, well, John, he lost his head. And John lost his head only for a moment. He lost his spiritual head, and he lost his natural head only for a moment. But when you leave this body, then you go into the real person. And can't nobody remove the head off the real person. And let me tell you something. If you know Jesus, he has become the head of your life. You don't have to worry about it. If you know him, he's the head of your life. And can't nobody cut him off. You got him, and he's connected, and can't nobody cut him off. Jesus, he dealt with John's disciples. He didn't answer them right away. They said, John Baptist sent us to find out if you are the Christ, or should we look for another? Jesus hears it. They followed him, waiting for him. In the process, be healed. He started healing people. In the process, demons come out. In the process, seek your sight. In the process, tongue be loosed. In the process, in the name of Jesus, rise up from death. Now I'm going to answer you all. Because now that you've seen, your faith is increased. Now you can go and increase the faith of my are healed. And let me just get on down to it. And the poor have the good news preached to them. Sometimes the one that you're following needs some encouragement too. Sometimes the one that you're following needs a little encouragement too. John had disciples. They followed John. John sent them to get a message. The message comes back to encourage John. Now the disciples are encouraging John to do what God has called him to do, so that when he goes to the chopping block, he can lay there with a sword knowing, I have kept the faith. I finished my course. That's why in our churches, the pastors that preach the true word of God, every now and then, just need somebody to say amen. Just need somebody to clap their hands. If you believe in the truth. Suppose they would have seen everything that Jesus did and went back with a lie. Because it's easy, it's simple. It's simple. It's just a matter of giving words. Yes, sir. Jesus gave the command, go and tell John what they see. So John would know that he is the Christ, the Messiah. So his down spirit, his doubting spirit, his low mind could be picked up and raised to do as he's been called to do. Yes, knowing that the suffering of his present time does not compare to what God has in store for him. Yes, sir. They could have lied. They could have swallowed that and came back and said, John, it don't look good. John, it don't look good, man. But that would have been working witchcraft. And the sad thing about it is there are people in the church that work witchcraft. They know the truth of the matter, but they lie. They know the truth of the matter, but they want things to go south instead of going north. They know the truth of the matter. But when you really know the Lord, you take what the Lord says as the Lord says it, and you obey his voice. Because life doesn't always work out our way. No. You're going to have some heartbreaks. You're going to have some disappointments. And when doubt comes, you have to say, Lord, help my unbelief. When you get desperate, anxious, remember the word says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything, prayer and supplication. Make your request known unto God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what you do. That's how you handle that. Don't take the last bit of money you got and say, I'm a chance it, I'm going to go to the racetrack. I'm a chance it, I'm going to go down here to Long Island. I'm a chance it, I'm going to go downtown. I'm a chance it, I'm going to put it on the balls called the lie. Only to find out that you did not win. You take a gamble on earthly things, but then doubt godly things. I'd rather trust godly things that I know work than earthly things that fail. doesn't always work out the way we want it to. You wanted the promotion, you didn't get it. So what you gonna do now? You gonna get upset and walk around with an attitude on your job? Or are you gonna take a positive attitude? Well, if I didn't get it, the Lord knows better. The person that got the promotion over you, that maybe you trained, you're gonna get an attitude with them? Got my job. But you the Christian. You took my job. Or are you going to have a good attitude and say, congratulations? Amen. I'm glad you got that. I'm going to pray that God help you in that area. If you need help, let me know. And I'll show you how to do it. That's how you be godly. That's how you be godly. You also are godly when you see somebody going in the wrong direction. You know they're going in the wrong direction. But because of your envy, your jealousy, you say, I'm going to let them fall. I'm going to let them fall. See what becomes of that. But you are the Christian. Not everybody who says, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of God. A lot of people that sit in churches all around our country, Lord, Lord, I love you, Lord. But they don't even know it. And he's going to say to them in that day of judgment, depart from me, worker of iniquity. I don't know you. Be cast into outer darkness. Be cast into fire which burns, and no man or nothing can quench it. Depart from me. It don't always work out our way. You lose the house that you struggled so hard to get the money for to keep, to get the down payment for. Now you can't even keep a payment. And your pride is on the line. You said God told you to get it. Did it? The car is about to be repossessed. You done went out and bought a car cover. Put it over your car every time you get out of it. You put it over your car. Every time you going into the gas station, you put a cover over it, just so repo don't be there when you come out. You go to work, you put a car cover, so repo don't take it, because they're not supposed to go under the car cover. Somebody say, that's good enough. You can't even get a ticket for real if your car's covered in a no parking zone. Now, if you're a Christian, you're not doing those things. Some of y'all today, before you go to the afternoon service, you're going to go and buy a car cover. Truck cover, car cover. Not to protect the paint. Standing all over each other.